Yo, what's up? I think this is my new favorite roguelike. I have spent 19 hours in it so far, and I'm having a blast. It's Soulstone Survivors. This one is still in early access, hopefully full release this year, but we'll see about that. It's been in early access since November 2022, so about a year, a little more than a year. Game loop is pretty standard. You will drop into a map, you'll have 10 waves and boss at end of each wave, and you'll have to kill a certain amount of enemies until the boss will spawn. This game doesn't hold anything back when it comes to enemies and things on the screen. It's insane how much things there are on the screen at the same time. Enemies, abilities, markers to dodge. It's crazy at all times, and I love it. There are only 5 maps, which is kind of boring and too little, in my opinion, because all the maps are basically the same, a square box with different environments and different enemies in them. But there's so much going on the screen at the same time that the enemy variety isn't really the big factor here. You're always moving in this game and always dodging circles, so enemy variety isn't the biggest thing. I would have loved for them to switch it up a bit with some linear maps or something else to do on the map, maybe some objectives or something, because the maps are just plain boring. There are a lot of bosses in the game as well, but the bosses are also very one-dimensional. All bosses have the same attack patterns basically, but in different styles and flares. Like you have one that is focusing on frost damage and slowing you down, one is focused on poison and is dealing poison damage. And they all have like an AoE attack and a long distance attack and like a sweeping attack. I would have loved for more variety in the bosses as well. The best part about the game is the classes or characters. There are 14 in the game right now in early access, and they bring a lot of variety. Like you have your standard barbarian who has 2 axes and you want to stay straight up in the face of the enemy or the boss you're fighting. You have the sentinel that is an archer that have a bow. You have an assassin with 2 daggers, always moving. You have several different mage classes that are focusing on different spells. I just unlocked the necromancer, haven't tried it out yet, but basic skill is summoning skeleton warriors that help you fight. One of the classes I haven't unlocked yet seems to be riding a goddamn horse. Looks fucking awesome. All characters can be leveled up as well. There are 4 weapons for each character to unlock with different skills. To unlock the new weapons, you have to farm resources on each map to be able to craft the new weapons. And each character has 4 weapons, so there's a lot of crafting in this game. You have to spend a lot of time gathering resources. Then you also have runes. You have collectively 5 points of runes to allocate to your character via equipping runes, and they cost differently. So, for example, Focus Fire, increase all damage you deal by 60%, but decrease the area of all your skills by 30%. I love this skill. This costs 3 out of your 5 runic slots. And then there are a few that doesn't cost anything, so you kind of have to balance it out. And I have a ton of these I haven't unlocked yet. And finally you have the skill tree. You have like 92 levels in the inner circle that you have to fill out first. Then you will get to the second part of the tree, which is character specific. It looks like you will have a ton of skills for each character to increase their potential. This basically took me like 15 to 18 hours to unlock the next step of the skill tree. So there is a lot of gameplay in this game to unlock everything. Like I'm not even close. I think I could easily spend several hundred of hours in this game, because each character can be leveled up as well. Like my best character is level 75. You unlock the last weapon at level 70, I think. I don't know if it does anything after that. Haven't gone that far yet. As I mentioned, the game has a lot of skills. Each character have 4 weapons. Each weapon have 2 skills that are specific for that weapon. They can be switched out in the game, but you have to have specific runes in order to get other characters' starting skills. Then you also have a few character specific skills, and then you have general skills that also differ a bit amongst the characters. And as you play and level up, you get to choose one of 3. These can be active skills. You start with 1. And then you can have 5 more, so a total of 6. You can switch out the first one if you want to. There are also a ton of passive buffs you can get, like more XP, crit, movement speed, armor, much health, dash counts. Like you name it, it's in here. There are a shit ton of attributes to pimp out your character with. And then you of course have synergies between the different skills and different passives. Amongst all the passives, you have also synergies. It's really cool, and you can do a lot of experimentation. And I mean, the stats on kills go crazy. At some point I have made my sword so big that it covers the whole screen basically when I do the attack. And you swing the sword 3 times instead of once because you have multicast procs and all that stuff. It's crazy after a while, it's so cool. And yeah, sometimes it's really hard to see what's going on the screen because there are so many effects and so many red dots and circles to avoid. But the game has a good options and settings menu where you can tone down effects and numbers and all that stuff. You can even play with only a mouse if you want to. You have auto aim in it as well. So the game helps you out as much as it can. Just remember to turn off the auto level up because you will level up a shit ton in this game. Like in half an hour I think I leveled up 150 times, so it's good to be able to save a few levels and then level up. So each map is basically split into 7 stages of difficulty, and at each stage the difficulty will increase. And you will have these curses that you have to equip in order to progress to the next stage of the map, or next difficulty stage of the map. And when you're on a map and have completed the 10 waves and the 10 bosses that have dropped, you will get 3 options. One is to start the endless mode, one is to continue, I believe, with harder difficulty on the same map, and one is just end the current round. The endless mode will start where you left off on that map, so if you're level 50, you will start on level 50 in the endless mode, and you will go through the maps. I've only done like 2 of these and not died, so I don't know how far it goes. Endless mode, hopefully endlessly. I haven't looked into this too much. But yeah, the game has a lot of content. I just wish the maps were more interesting to play on. And I would love if the game loop was different for each map, with some more variety in the bosses. As I said, the game is in early access. Currently there are 142 skills in the game. They want to have 345. That's kind of a lot of skills left to go. There are 5 maps in early access, as I mentioned. In the full release version they want to have 10 maps. There are 8 bosses in the game right now. They want to have more in the full release. They haven't stated a number on this one yet. 14 characters so far. They want to have 21 in full release, so that's 7 more. I hope they can keep the variety in the classes, because so far it's great. And there are 20 weapons in early access. They want to have 105 in full release. We have runes. They have 20 right now. They want to have 48 in full release. Curses, there are 10. They want to have 23 in full release. Skill tree, yeah, it depends. They might do more crazy shit there. It's so big already. But I mean, each character has to have their own part of it. So yeah, this might be, if they want to do another tier, this could be insanely big. Then you have game modes. As of now we have standard and endless. They want to bring daily challenges and sandbox and maybe more. So sandbox could be fun if you could maybe create your own mode, or at least choose the settings for how you play. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about this game a little bit, as I have been obsessed about it for a time now. Like, this is my perfect chill game for watching a bit of YouTube or Twitch while I'm playing it. It's such a good time. Thanks for listening to my rant. See you in the next video. Bye.